Saying all this, let's now speak to Dr. Benjamin Kisi Sasu. He's Risk Communication Officer at the Veterinary Services Directorate. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, it is approximately 24 hours since you released this statement updating the public on this outbreak of anthrax in Disa. What is new and what are the actions that have been taken since then?
Great. So good afternoon to your listeners and followers. Thanks for the opportunity. The northern part of the country are areas that normally are noted as anthrax-prone areas. So when you get to see sudden death of animals, especially cattle, in large quantity, we get to put in measures whilst investigation goes on, which we have read, and you realize that the main town which happened, there's a ban on movement of cattle and also sales of a slaughtering of cattle in there whilst investigation goes on, so that human lives will be protected in case should the results come out that it is a zoonotic disease, which is anthrax, then we are going to have issue. Already, look at the history, there's a mix of vaccines. And the truth is that these vaccines, per the report, you know that they are illegal ones. Ghana as a whole, for many years, has been producing vaccines for livestock, that is anthrax, and that was CDPP. But unfortunately, some farmers and other people sometimes try to look for cheaper source, which we suspect so, and getting this kind of vaccines and even doing it wrongly. Actually, Veterinary Service, which is the competent authority for animal health and animal welfare, from time to time provides services for farmers who want to vaccinate their livestock, which we normally entreat all farmers to do so. It's so certain that this individual did that. I will speak right now. Before the interview, my checks that yesterday the One Health stakeholders platform was activated. So there's a communication between environmental health agency, that of veterinary services, and that of the human health with the regional health directorate. And as I speak right now, there's no been any recorded human loss of any human life. And what veterinary did, we got there early to contain make sure that all the dead animals were properly buried under inspection and making sure that people don't come to pick any carcasses. And as we say now, it's 24 hours. We are hoping by the end of today or maybe by tomorrow, the lab will have concluded with their findings to come out with the next steps. Whether what we have found, it is not zoonotic or it's not any disease, and if it is something else, what can we do? I will lift the ban, and what are the determinations to go on. By speaking this, we just want to tell everybody, especially those found that town, that should we get up see a lot of your animals, like cattle, sheep, goats, dying, you should quickly report to the nearest veterinary center or facility. Veterinary service will be there to offer the needed help. Okay. And this is to help contain the issue.
Dr. Sasu, how often does your office engage, these livestock farmers to educate them on vaccinating the animal?
For the vaccination, yes, we always have training for farmers from time to time. Quarterly, there's training, but depending on the areas. So there are training that goes on, and there are also other projects that's also going on and not that cause people to engage. But the issue currently we have in our country is that the farmers are not in, let me say, formed groups. People choose to join groups, farmers groups or not. And when people are opening they go into the cattle rearing, they decide to get up and do it on their own. There's not something like registration means. But don't forget, we also have people coming from Niger and Mali bringing their cattle into the country. A lot of the cattle that we have in the country are normally not reared inside here. People transit to our borders and bring them in. And in this case, we have the involvement of the herdsmen, the Fulani involved, and they come from other countries. And for the past years, we have had issues with the herdsmen, with poachers of people farms and destroying the property, and this issue also coming in. It means that we're also having problem with vaccine entering the country. The veterinary service that gives the approval of vaccines that could be used for our livestock in the country and a set of medication with that issue. But with the foreigners coming from other locality, and the history of Fulani is that they always experience sometimes resort to eating or do certain things themselves, which is wrong. We have tried our best. Every time, once Ghana, the northern side receives them, depending on the time the education or awareness is going on, some may have missed, some may get to know.
Okay.
So this is also a whole thing that we are looking at it and see how far we can go.
Right.
But the truth that some may not pass through our controlled borders. That's a big issue.
Just the final one, how long is this going to take for us to be able to contain the situation and people getting back to buying meat?
Good. Since there will be reports of the standing death of these cattle and they were buried and something have been taken, we have not since that they had any report, both in any death in any animal or livestock in that area, and they also don't have any human, those who were involved in working with these animals. We have not have anyone get sick or loss of life. So we are monitoring. We are looking between 7 to 14 days. Should we not have any records of those things? Quickly, the response team, which is the One Health platform, will meet with the local assembly and the MMDAs to take a decision and communicate back the same way that we communicated that there is a suspicion. We'll communicate back for we to know, and also do more sensitization awareness, because I get to know that most people who are into livestock rearing, even keeping pets, do not many times approach veterinary services, and we should do so. Even you don't need to wait for your animals to get sick. Once you have decided to go into even grass cutter, whatever things you want to do with animals, it's better to know the nearest veterinary facility closer. Have a contact of a registered vet officer, so that in case of anything you could call, because it's not only just your livelihood, but sometimes it can affect lives. If not you, your family members or friends can be affected.
Great. Thank you very much for your time. Dr. Benjamin Sasu is Risk Communications Officer with the Veterinary Services Directorate. Now, you may be wondering what this disease is. Now, let's do some education on this anthrax disease that is out in the Savannah region in Disa. Now, anthrax is a rare but infectious disease caused by bacteria Bacillus anthracis are found in infected animals and the soil. Now, there are 3 types of anthrax infection: cutaneous, that is for the skin; intestinal for the gut; and inhalational. Now, it is most often causes a skin infection, but can also affect your gut or lungs. Now, anthrax is not contagious between people, but can spread through contact with infected animals or animal products. Now, here are some symptoms. An itchy, painless bump on exposed areas of your body, a bump that develops into a blister, which then develops into a sore with a black and sunken appearance. And also another symptom is swollen and red skin around the sore. And then in 2023, Ghana experienced an anthrax outbreak in Binduri and Talents in the Upper East region, where 13 suspected human anthrax cases were recorded and 1 confirmed dead in the Binduri district, along with the deaths of numerous livestock. All right, so let's now speak to our Savannah regional correspondent, Hafiz Idrisu. Hafiz, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. First and foremost, with this statement from the veterinary services, how are the people in the area taking this news?
Good afternoon, and thank you for your time this afternoon. Well, the people are very shocked about the developments concerning the alleged outbreak of the anthrax in the district, and for that matter, the region. At the moment, 1 person has been arrested in connection with the issue. That is the quack veterinary officer who undertook the vaccination of the animals. This person is a foreign national from Burkina Faso. What he actually did was to mix the dosages of contagious bovine contagious bovine pneumonia, which is used to treat bacteria, with anthrax spore vaccine. A mixture of these 2 was what he used to inject the animals. So barely 24 hours after the injection, they realized that the animals were dying. as a result of the vaccination. So far, about 400 animals have been confirmed dead by the veterinary services in the region, and information has been communicated to people in Daboya and across the entire Savannah region. It will interest you to even note that people in the northern region, that is Tamale butchers and all the general public alike, have equally been informed about this situation so that it is being put under control by the veterinary services in the Savannah region.
Okay, now talk to us about the issue on the ground for the cattle farmers, for those involved with the animals. How they, taking this? Are they understanding what the situation is? Why the animals have to be slaughtered and all that?
Well, for them, this is a very grief moment for the families that have lost their cattle because of the sick nature of a quack Burkina Faso national.
Okay, great, Hafiz. Thank you very much for the updates there.